Theory and Practice of Interpersonal Communication, Assignment 2. What are emotions? By Amanda Shaw, Andrea Rosal, and Nada Emara. What are emotions? Emotions, often called feelings, include experiences such as love, hate, anger, trust, joy, panic, fear, and grief. Emotions are related to, but different from, mood. Emotions are specific reactions to a particular event that are usually of fairly short duration. Emotions are complex and have both physical and mental components.
Physiological factors. Humans experience a physiological reaction to every emotion they feel. This means that when a person has strong emotions, many bodily changes can occur. For example, have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when you were anxious? Or have you ever blushed when you were embarrassed? Have you ever felt increased heart rate or shortness of breath when you were scared? In all of those cases, you experience a physiological reaction to an emotion.
Nonverbal reactions. We communicate with much more than just words. In fact, the majority of our communication is nonverbal. Nonverbal communication, or body language, includes our facial expression, gestures, eye contact, posture, and even the tone of our voice. There are many different types of nonverbal communication. Facial expressions. The human face is extremely expressive, able to express countless emotions without saying a single word. And unlike some forms of nonverbal communication, facial expressions are universal. The facial expression for happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, fear, and disgust are all the same across cultures. Body movements, postures, and gestures. Your perception of people are affected by the way they sit, walk, stand up, or hold their head. The way you move and carry yourself communicates a wealth of information to the world. This type of nonverbal communication includes your posture, bearing, stance, and subtle movements. Here is an example of misinterpreted body language. Eye contact. The way you look at someone can communicate many things, including interest, affection, hostility, or attraction. Eye contact is also important in maintaining the flow of conversation and for gauging the other person's response. Voice. We communicate with our voices even when we're not using words. Nonverbal speech, sounds such as tone, pitch, volume, inflection, rhythm, and the rate are important communication elements. When we speak, other people read our voices, in addition to listening to our words. These nonverbal speech sounds provide subtle but powerful cues into our true feelings and what we really mean.
Verbal expression. The basis of communication is the interaction between people. Verbal communication is one way for people to communicate face to face. Some of the key components of verbal communication are sound, words, speaking, and language. When we talk to others, we assume they will understand us. We know what we are trying to say, so obviously our message will get through, right? Not necessarily. People bring their own attitudes, opinions, emotions, and experiences to an encounter, and this often clouds their perception of our message. Cognitive interpretations. Cognitive interpretations can simply be broken down into the self-evaluation of our emotions and how we perceive them. With this self-evaluation, it can determine how we feel. Events occur around us all the time in every waking moment. These events will not lead to excessive stress unless one or more of them are perceived and interpreted as being meaningful, potentially challenging, or threatening. In this picture, cognitive interpretation is identified differently for each individual. The female sees a dog and automatically is frightened by it due to a bad past experience. However, the male sees the same dog and has a completely different reaction. He sees this dog as cute and adorable because it reminds him of his own dog.
Why do we have emotions? Emotions appear to serve several physical and psychological purposes. Some scientists believe that emotions are one of the fundamental traits associated with being human. Emotions color people's lives and give them depth and differentiation. For many people, strong emotions are linked to creativity and expression. Great art, music, and literature deal on a fundamental level with arousing emotions and creating an emotional connection between the artist and the public. Some scientists also believe that emotions serve as motivation to behave in specific ways.